Hello my friends and welcome to the 17th class in our writing course. Today my friends we are going to carry on talking about punctuation marks, part 3, and in this part we are going to cover parentheses, brackets, semicolon and comma. Now my friends, let's talk about brackets, or we call them square brackets. For the square brackets my friends, I would like to call them the children or grandchildren of the parentheses, as we are going to see in their uses. The first use, my friends, of square brackets is to add or clarification or information inside a quote. Let's consider this example. The witness stated he, meaning the officer, took the car. As you see, my friends, here we have taken this part from a novel, for example, and the reader who hasn't read the previous chapters of the novel cannot recognize who is referred to with the pronoun he. That's why we add this clarification to tell the reader that he refers to the officer. Now, my friends, here we have the second use is to indicate added, missed, or changed words in a quotation. Generally, my friends, sometimes when we quote something or someone, generally we need to change or to add or to delete some words from the quotations according to our need. In here, my friends, and to be fair and to be trustworthy, we should refer to the part we changed for our readers. In here, my friends, for example, then he said, to be or not to be, that is the question. For example, maybe in the original text, it was the word the matter. So we changed it to serve a specific reason or a specific utilization in our piece of writing. That's why we changed it into the word the question to serve our purpose. Maybe we can delete it, but we should put them into square brackets, or we change, or we miss, or sometimes we add new words or extra words to the quotation, and we should always enclose them in square brackets to show the reader that those words are not from the original quotation. And here, my friends, to add information inside parentheses. And here, my friends, it is like explaining what is being explained. Let me give you an example. He mentioned his trip to Paris. So this sentence gives a full meaning, but we want to add more information to clarify what happened. We say, and how much he enjoyed the museums. We could have stopped here and we enclose the parentheses, but we wanted to be more specific, and we say especially the Louvre. In here, my friends, this is an explanation of this one, which is all an explanation of the previous sentence. So, my friends, let's say the general or the main explanation is put into parentheses, as we said before, essential or definition. Here, extra information. And the extra information is put into the square brackets. And the fourth use, my friends, here is to show editorial corrections or comments. Often, generally, we use SIC or the SIC. In here, my friends, sometimes you quote from a book. You take a part from this book, and while quoting this author or this writer, you discover that this writer made a mistake in his book. And in this case, my friends, you want to tell your reader that you are quoting this person, knowing that this person made a mistake in this part specifically. So, my friends, as a professional writer, if I am quoting, for example, from another scientist or another novelist, and I notice that the original text in the original book from which I am quoting has a mistake. How can I refer to this mistake to my reader? Here, my friends, when we quote someone and we notice a mistake in the original text, sometimes the mistake could be grammatical or spelling or factual mistake. In here, we keep the mistake as it is and we follow the mistake with SIC, of course, enclosed in square brackets and italicized. Here, my friends, what is this SIC? This SIC is a Latin word and it refers to the word thus or so, and generally, my friend, this word refers to the existence of a problem. In here, let me give you some examples. Sam said, here I'm reporting Sam, the report mentioned significant improvement. Generally, my friends, in here, as you see, we have a quotation inside a big quotation. Look, this is double quotation marks. This is the general quotation or the main quotation, and inside this quotation there is another quotation. So we are reporting Sam, who is reporting the significant improvement inside the report, and we use SIC here to refer to the mistake in the word improvement with double O. Generally, the word improvement should include one O. That's why we leave it as it is. We add those square brackets and we add SIC to refer to the existence of a problem. Second one here, Sarah wrote, Sam don't like cake. And here, my friends, the problem is in don't, it should be doesn't. So I write SIC to tell my reader that although I am quoting Sarah in her book, still there is a mistake in the original book and I am writing exactly the same words, knowing that there is a mistake among them. The third one here, the magazine states World War II occurred in 1991. And in here, my friends, I am reporting what the magazine mentioned. And then here, I am referring to and in here, my friends, I am telling my readers that I know that the World War II didn't occur in 1991. It was, for example, 1943, as I remember. In here, my friends, I am just saying what they said, knowing that they are mistaken. So, my friends, we use this SIC with the square brackets when we quote someone and we know that this person we are quoting has made a mistake in his or her original text, and we refer to the mistake using SIC. Hello, my friends, and welcome again to this part in our writing course into which we are talking about punctuation marks. We have reached so far, my friends, to semicolons. And allow me, before I explain the three uses I have prepared for you and go through them one by one to define or explain the semicolon simply for you. Generally, my friends, we can consider the semicolon as a bridge that connects two ideas which are independent, meaning that each idea can stand alone as a sentence or a simple sentence as an independent sentence, but they prefer to be connected with the semicolon rather than to be separated by a period. In here, my friends, we generally have three main uses for the semicolon. Generally, my friends, we use the semicolon to join two closely related independent clauses, and this point, my friends, was covered when we talked about compound sentences, but there is no problem to repeat it again. Here, my friends, let's consider these two examples. The first one, we worked for 12 hours relentlessly. We had no time to go out. So, my friends, in here we have two independent clauses that each can stand alone as a simple sentence, by using a period. But generally, my friends, as long as the first one can be considered as a reason and the second one can be considered as a consequence for the first one, we can connect them using a semicolon. Another option, my friend, here we have is to use so, one coordinating conjunction or a fanboy in its place, or I can use, for example, a conjunctive adverbial like therefore. In here, my friends, as you see, I have one, two, three, or I can use the fourth way, which is therefore here. And here, therefore, is considered as a transition. In these one, two, three, four ways, I can express the same idea. And here, my friends, I can prove that I am a professional writer because I can simply vary my writing styles to express the same idea. The second example, my friends, here, she loves to watch romantic movies. Her favorite actor is Leonardo DiCaprio. Again, my friends, here we have two independent clauses that each can stand alone as a dependent, as a simple sentence by only separating them with a period in the semicolons place, but they prefer to be connected together. That's why we used the semicolon. Again, my friends, we can use a coordinator here, and this coordinator could be and we can use an adverb and conjunctive adverbial in addition. And also, my friends, here before it semicolon, after it comma, and also, my friends, we can use a transition here in addition, but this should be capital letter. And in here, my friends, again, I prove that I am a professional writer and I can vary my writing styles and I can write the same sentence in two or three and even four ways. So, in short, my friends, we use the semicolon in order to join two independent clauses when these two clauses are related or they have kind of a connection or a relationship between them. And here, my friends, the second use is very close to the first one. Here we use the semicolon with conjunctive adverbials or transitional phrases, as we explained here, my friends. We consider these two examples just like the previous ones. The team had relentlessly worked on the project. We can use semicolon, then they missed the deadline. In here, my friends, we have one independent clause that is related to the other. This one is the result or an expected result for the first one, so that they are connected. We can use yet with a comma or a conjunctive adverbial with semicolon before it and a comma after it. The same applies for the second example here. We have made a very good progress so far. And here, my friend, it's enough for us to join with the second independent clause. We will carry on using the same approach, or we can use so, or we can use as a result. For the third use, my friend, of the semicolon, we use the semicolon to separate items in a complex list. Generally, my friends, if an English learner or a writer can use the semicolon in this way accurately and correctly, I can tell him or her that he or she has become a professional writer with no doubt. Allow me to explain this use because it is very important, and if you don't understand it, please try to repeat it over and over again. Here, my friends, we have a list that includes lists inside it. Allow me to explain clearly. And here, my friends, let's take the first example. We will visit several cities in Europe we start a list here using the EM dash or the colon. We will visit several cities in Europe: Paris, Lyon, France, Rome, Napoli, Italy, and Berlin, Germany. And here, my friends, we can separate this list into three lists. The first one is Lyon, Paris, Lyon, France. Second one, Rome, Napoli, Italy, and Berlin here in Germany. As you see, my friends, we have different cities in different countries. Still, they are cities and these are countries. As long as they are from the same, let's say, weight, from the same nature, we can separate them into, let's say, sublists to be accurate. The second example here, my friends, we should buy, again, we start with an EM dash or a colon. We should buy a pen and a pencil from the stationery, coffee and olives from the market, and some books from the bookshop. Again, my friends, this list can be separated into three lists. The first one till the stationery, second one till the market, the third one till the bookshop. Again, my friends, in here we are trying to separate the list into more than one list using the semicolons. The third example, the committee members included Sarah Miller, the president, John Davis, the treasurer, and Emily Carter, the secretary. As you see here, my friends, we use the semicolons in order to put lists inside the list. And as you see, my friends, here we have different people in different work positions. Still, they work in the same company. So we need to put all of them into one list, and we install sub lists inside this list and separate these sublists with semicolons. And finally, my friends, I would like you to consider the semicolon as a bridge, as I said before, that connects two independent ideas. That's why we can use the semicolon. And I would like to mention three mistakes some of our students make using the semicolons. The first one, my friends, here is to join a dependent clause with an independent clause, which means to use it in a complex sentence. Generally, my friends, we use the comma. We don't use the semicolon to join these two clauses, although they are related. But you have to remember that if you want to join two related clauses, both of them should be independent clauses. In this example, my friend, as you see, we have a dependent clause and independent one. Because Sarah was sick, she didn't come to the party. As you see here, my friends, we use a comma because those clauses are related, but one of them is dependent, the other is independent. If they were independent, both of them, we would use the semicolon to join them, but they were not. And here, my friends, after a transition phrase, as you see, we had studied for the exam. However, we could pass. Generally, my friends, when we transfer the conjunctive adverbial into a transition, we change only what? The punctuation marks. So we put a period and we start the conjunctive adverbial with a capital letter, then we follow it with a comma, while when it was conjunctive adverbial, as you see, it is preceded by a semicolon and it is followed with a comma. And last but not least, my friend, overusing semicolons, which is not preferred, because generally, my friends, we have a lot of writing styles, and concentrating only on semicolon and overusing it can be considered as a weakness in our skills. That's it for today, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this class. Again, my friends, if you don't understand the point, try to repeat the video again and try to go and play some code games, which are going to be related to each point in isolation. There will be quizzes for parentheses alone, practices alone, brackets alone, semicolons alone, and commas alone. And try, please, my friends, to comment or to get in touch with me if you have any questions.